Spurge, a low-growing weed that produces thousands of seeds, and if you're not careful, can take over your entire yard. What you're looking at here is Spurge. This is also Spurge. In this video, we're going to give you several methods of how to get rid of Spurge and also how to prevent Spurge so that you're not dealing with it in the future. Hi, I'm Dr. Tom Warren, and you're watching A Plant Doctor. Let's get started. Spurge can grow literally about anywhere. It can grow in cracks in concrete. It can grow in between pavers. It can grow in flower beds, and it can grow in your turf as well. And where it's growing is going to dictate our method for removal. So let's start with if it's on a hard surface, if it's on a patio or a concrete or something like that. Let's look at our options that we have to control Spurge. So pulling Spurge out of concrete or pavers is next to impossible. Yes, you're going to get the vegetation up, but the root is still going to be down in these cracks and the Spurge will just come back. So an easy homemade method of eliminating the Spurge in your driveway or in your patios is to make homemade herbicide. You'll need 1 gallon of vinegar, you'll need 1 cup of salt, and you'll need 1 tablespoon of dishwashing soap. You mix those together, you put them in a spray bottle, you come out and spray the Spurge that is in the cracks of your patio or your driveway, and within a matter of days, they're going to be gone. Now, you cannot use this, or I would not recommend using this in flower beds, only on hardscapes. Here's why. Salinity of your soil is important, and if we're putting a bunch of salt into the soil, long term that's going to be detrimental to plant health. Also, the vinegar can really mess with the pH of the soil, not in a big area, but where you spray, that's going to alter the pH of your soil, so you may have some detrimental effects to the ornamentals that you want to keep or your turf grass that you want to keep. So only use this method in areas where there's no other plant material, like cracks in a driveway. If you have just a very small area that you need to control Spurge, I want you to use the next method. A quick and easy way to get rid of Spurge is if it's in cracks and it's really small like this, it's so small that you can't pick it up, you can use a little torch like this and actually just more or less burn it. This is going to get rid of your seeds and the vegetative material as well. A product that you can buy off the shelf and use on these hard surfaces to control Spurge is going to be the new Roundup. Roundup recently redid their formula for over-the-counter Roundup that you buy at Lowe's and Home Depot and all the other home improvement and garden stores. No longer is there glyphosate in these products. They've got some different chemicals in it now, but I would only use that here on hard surfaces. Again, one of the chemicals that's in that product is actually systemic, meaning that it can get in the ground and go through the roots of the plants that you want. It's so the roots soak up this chemical and it can cause damage to your ornamentals. I don't want you to have nice coleus and Japanese maples and hydrangeas, whatever's in your yard, and you're spraying Spurge with this stuff, and all of a sudden you start seeing chemical burn on these plants because they've changed the chemical makeup of some of these products. So be careful using that product. I would only use it on hard surfaces way far away from any of my ornamentals, also including my turf, because it will damage your turf as well. How do you get rid of Spurge that is in your flower beds? The best way to do this is the old-fashioned way. Put on a pair of gloves and pull the Spurge. Now here's how you pull Spurge. You need to be very specific in how you do it. First of all, I want you to wear gloves because Spurge produces a sap that some people are allergic to. As you can see here, the sap is oozing out of the stem and onto my glove. We don't want that getting on your skin. Some people are okay with it, but some people, they're going to break out in a rash. So make sure that you're wearing gloves. The second thing we want to be aware of is the proper way to pull Spurge. You don't want to just pull a single stem. follow the stem back all the way to the base of the plant. So these plants have runners. Collect all the runners in one handful and pull from the base of the stem and do your best to try to get the taproot. If you don't get the taproot, we run the risk of having more spurge come back. Under no circumstances do I want you to come in a large area like this and think, oh, I'll just weed eat my spurge down and that will solve the problem. You're going to make your problem worse. Look at the tips of these leaves here. Down at the base, you're going to see clusters of seeds and flowers. So when you weed eat, all you're doing is spreading that around the yard, and where you had a small patch of spurge, you're going to cause a large outbreak like you see here. So before I did this video, I intentionally came to this area with a weed eater, weed eated it down, let the seeds come up so you could see the detrimental impact. So that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had 2 little pieces of spurge here, and now I've got a 10 by 10 area of spurge. So this is an example of what not to do. So how do we get spurge out of turf grass like you see behind me? Because once it starts, it can really start to take over in a hurry. A product that I like to use is from Bayer Advanced. This is lawn weed and crabgrass killer. This is a broad spectrum product. It has what we need in it. So the active ingredient that we need to kill spurge is 2,4-D. So look on your labels. 2,4-D is what you're looking for where it says active ingredients. Now the thing I like about the lawn and weed killer from Bayer is I can use this on a variety of different turfs. I can use this on cool season grasses as well as warm season grasses. For some products, they're exclusively warm season turf grasses, Bermuda and zoysia, and others are exclusively for northern turf grasses, fescue, ryegrass, Kentucky bluegrass. This is for both, so we can use this on Bermuda, buffalo grass, Kentucky bluegrass, ryegrass, fescue, zoysia, and bent grass. When using chemicals, I can't stress enough, read the label. The label is going to tell you how many ounces per gallon you need to mix up and how many gallons per 1,000 square feet of turf you need to put out the product. Also, it's going to have recommendations for PPE or personal protective equipment. These recommendations are for the health of your turf grass as well as you, and we would hate to do something that's detrimental to your turf, or more importantly, detrimental to yourself. So always read the label, look for your dosage amount, look for your PPE before doing any spraying. So now that we've talked about how to get rid of spurge, how do we prevent it from happening in the first place so that your grass can look like this and so that you don't have it spreading all throughout your flower beds as well? I use a product called Resolute, and the active ingredient in Resolute is prodiamine. You need to be careful with using pre-emergent products. Pre-emergents are those that prevent seeds from germinating to begin with. And we can use this to protect against spurge, but certain pre-emergents can only be used on turf, while other pre-emergents can only be used in your ornamental flower beds. The great thing about prodiamine is we can use them in either the turf or flower beds. So I'm not having to put out multiple products. Prevention of spurge starts in mid-February, early March for me. You want to put out your first round of pre-emergents as the soil temperatures begin to get 55 degrees. And you may be asking yourself, Dr. Warren, how do I know soil temps are 55 degrees? Well, there's 2 ways you can do this. The USDA has a website. If you just Google USDA soil temps, they'll have a map and you can zoom in on your area and it'll give you a general idea of how warm the soil is going to be in your yard. Or you can do like me, sneak into the kitchen, grab the wife's meat thermometer, put it in the ground, and get an accurate temperature that way. But if you elect to go this route, make sure you do not tell the wife you're taking the meat thermometer to measure soil temp. And if you do use it, please make sure you wash it off really good before you put it back in the drawer. And yes, I just told on myself, so honey, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. So once my soil temp hits 55 degrees, I'm doing a split application. So I'm going to put out half the recommended max rate for my product. Here again, read your labels for your particular product. Make sure you're putting it out at the correct rate. I believe it's 1.1 ounces per 1,000 square feet on Resolute for this particular blend of prodiamine. So I'm going to put out roughly 0.5 ounces per 1,000 over this turf. I'm going to wait 6 weeks. I'm going to put out another 0.5 ounces. So I'm right at that 1 ounce, 1.1 ounce per 1,000 application. And doing multiple applications, I'm spreading out how long I'm actually getting pre-emergent control over spurge, not just spurge, but a whole list of other weeds as well. I hope you found this video helpful in controlling spurge in your yard. If you have a method that you use that we did not go over in this video, please leave those down in the comments below. I'd love to learn something from you, the viewer. Guys, as always, thank you for watching The Plant Doctor, and until next time, happy gardening.